Katya and I love wine. Tonight, we will meet Cabernet Sauvignon. We will discover who she is, where she comes from, what is she like, and finally, what foods match her personality best. Cabernet Sauvignon is a red grape variety in the wine world known as the king of red wines. Some people even refer to it as the alpha male of red grape varieties because it's got this power, you know? It's got this energy and also this kind of deepness to it. Okay, so not many people know that, but Cabernet Sauvignon is actually a product of love between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. Hence, Cabernet Sauvignon. In the wine world, we refer to it as the crossing between the two grapes. So the two grapes, Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc, mated together, and as a result, a pretty spectacular baby was born that we call Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon is a grape variety that has small berries, but those small berries, they have really thick skins. So you can squeeze out a lot of color from those skins. You can extract a lot of color from those skins. And as a result, a Cabernet Sauvignon in a glass would be very deep in color, almost like ink black. I mean, you guys, I would not recommend to order this wine if you're on your first date, because like after 2 sips, this is just like an instant blood mouth. As if you were sipping ink. But other than that, pretty spectacular color. You can just look, it's like you're looking in an abyss. Cabernet Sauvignon was born in France, in the most renowned wine region of the world, Bordeaux. And it is a really dominant grape variety on Bordeaux's left bank. There are a couple of places you should keep in mind when hunting for the best Cabernet Sauvignons in Bordeaux's left bank. First place is Margaux. This is where you find the most sophisticated, the most elegant Cabernet Sauvignons. And obviously this is the wine that I'm having right now. It's a pretty nice, okay, I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to stand up to its reputation. Another place that you should remember is Saint-Julien. This is a place where the Cabernet Sauvignon is very well balanced. It kind of has this lovely harmony. And then one more that really stands out is Saint-Estèphe. Now the Saint-Estèphe wines, they could be a bit too rough or harsh in their youth, but if you're patient enough, if you give them a bit more time, they would just age really gracefully. If you ask me, although Cabernet Sauvignon originated and obviously thrives in Bordeaux, I do think that the world's best examples come from a different place, namely California. If you take places like Sonoma and Napa, I mean, these places produce really spectacular examples of Cabernet Sauvignon. They'd be like super stylish and plush and glossy. I am a big, big fan. And I think partly is because of the climate, because it is slightly warmer in those New World countries like USA and in places like Napa and Sonoma, especially compared to Bordeaux. I think that Cabernet Sauvignon has more space to show itself, has a little bit more sunshine to complement its complexity. Do you know what I mean? Now story time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. The story is called The Judgment of Paris. So imagine we're like in the beginning of 70s. The French wine production is booming. Obviously, it's considered, the French wine is are considered to be the most elitist and the best wine in the world. And then there's this merchant, an English merchant, Stephen Spurrier, and he's traveling to California, you know, kind of to check out what's going on. And then he's like, wow, kind of impressed with the wines. So what he decides to do is he decides to do a blind tasting in Paris, where he invites all of the gurus of the wine world, obviously all French, and he tells them, you guys, I'm gonna pour you a Californian Cabernet Sauvignon, and I'm gonna pour you the most prestigious Cabernet Sauvignon from Bordeaux. Let's see if you guys can, decide between the two. And the French are like, bien sûr, of course we can decide. What are you talking about? We are going to win. And so he's got like the experts sitting at one table. He pours them Cabernet Sauvignons from Bordeaux and Cabernet Sauvignons from California as well. And these guys are totally perplexed. They taste the wines, and in the end, the Cabernet Sauvignons from California, they scored much, much higher than the Cabernet Sauvignons from Bordeaux. Namely, Stag's Leap was the wine, a Cabernet Sauvignon dominant wine, that won the competition over the Rothschild, Bordeaux, and others. And to me, this really serves as an example that you should never underestimate new comings in the world of wine. Oh, dude. Is that spectacular or is it spectacular? I don't say beauty, but I say beauty so often. We know that it is a product of love or baby from Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc. So from Sauvignon Blanc, it's gonna have this signature bell pepper touch. And then from Cabernet Franc, it's going to have this almost like a pencil and like a little bit of like a cigar box. One of the other signature notes of Cabernet Sauvignon would be a cassis, this black currant kind of squashed into jam or marmalade, black cherry. And in those warmer climates, you're going to have this lovely like eucalyptus and mint, kind of like refreshing vibes from it. And also sometimes like black olives. And then when you taste it, it's going to have a lot of thickness on your palate. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be very thin. It will have this depth and, a lot of flavor. Sometimes when you have a young Cabernet Sauvignon, you almost like feeling you have a piece of earth in your mouth. So for each grape variety, I kind of have visualized a certain fabric. When I think of Pinot Noir, for example, I'm thinking about silk. When I think of Merlot, I'm thinking about velvet. And when I think about Cabernet Sauvignon, it almost feels on my palate as if my tongue was wearing a little fur coat or a nice thick cashmere sweater. It's a really warming kind of feeling, but also it has a lot of texture. It's smooth, but at the same time, it's really thick and, well, warming. A couple of days ago, I was brave enough to follow a recipe from one of my favorite vegan chefs. Her name is Nisha, and she has a channel on YouTube, super successful, Rainbow Plant Life. She cooked a mushroom stroganoff pasta. It was really good with Cabernet Sauvignon. This kind of earthy flavor of mushroom really complemented super well our Cabernet Sauvignon. So I'm also thinking like a portobello mushroom burger. No blue cheese, please, no blue cheese. This is not gonna handle it. But just a general like mushroom dishes, like mushroom risotto, mushroom pasta, and then portobello mushroom burgers, super nice. Those of you who are carnivores, watch out, you guys. This is it. This is the ultimate wine. You're looking for all kinds of meats. And the fattier the meat, the better. Because what's going to happen is Cabernet Sauvignon has this thick structure. That means that it's strong in tannins. So those tannins are going to attach themselves to the fats in your meat. And they will just create this very pleasant mouth feel. Super harmonious. So all kinds of fatty steaks and also burgers. And also like lasagna or pasta with bolognese, something with rich tomato meat sauce. This is so good. Let's wrap up. A red grape variety, also known as the alpha male of the red grapes. The most planted red grape variety in the world, originates from France, but also some spectacular examples come from California, South America, South Africa, known for its really signature aroma of bell pepper and a little bit of cassis, or cigar box. In the warmer climates, it's going to develop the aromas of menthol and eucalyptus and mint. You can pair it with a variety of meats. So if you're a carnivore, great news for you. Burgers, salamis, bolognese, pasta, lasagna, they're all waiting for the lovely Cabernet Sauvignon. And for the vegetarians, mushroom dishes, mushroom risotto or mushroom pasta. Spectacular grape variety, a lot of depth, power. Don't order it on the first date because, you know, blood mouth. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, press that like button. You're gonna help me out a lot. I'll see you next week for some more wine.